approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second?
Yeah, I'll second.
All in favor? Opposed? Okay, then we will review and have approval of the last minutes, last meeting's minutes. We
Yeah.
both have a change.
I don't believe you were here, Barb, and it says you
Yes.
called the meeting
But
to
it said
order,
I called the meeting to order.
and you were absent up here in the attendance, so I'm pretty sure you
So
were.
who called, who
Well, I
ran the
think
meeting?
Greg
Did you-
did.
Greg.
So you called the meeting to order?
Yeah, I was running the last meeting. That was upstairs, right?
Right, I will correct that.
Okay. Is there any other additions?
This seems like a long time ago.
Additions or
Well, that was
changes?
March.
If not, I would accept the motion to approve the minutes as changed, as corrected.
I'll make a motion to approve the amended,
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Easy so far. Okay, I will, call it, open a public, or I guess we
We
have
need a motion to-
motion.
I'll make a motion for, we move the public hearing.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed? All right, we will open the public hearing, the request.
This is an explanation. This is, the property now belongs, all the daughters belong to Dave. She lives at it. And we got the three daughters are gonna build houses there. This is just off the south end of where Grand Avenue dead ends south of town. Basically, this was zoned A1. When they did this, they did not realize that the setbacks applied to private roads as well as public roads. And they want to build closer to the road than an A1 district will allow. So rezoning it to R2 will allow them to build, you know, from the proximity they'd like to be to the road. It's a private road, so it won't affect the county at all.
What is the difference between R1 and R2? R2, they can have duplexes.
Well, yeah, that'll change shortly, but, they could have duplexes, but it's family owned. They've got things, the setbacks would go from 50 feet to 10 feet.
From side property lines?
No, from the road right of way.
From the road right of way.
Which they've got a couple of structures that will be nearly that close. But as they said, it's a private road, the county doesn't have, you know, there's no issues with it going forward. We won't ever have to buy property to widen the road or anything like that, so it's really not an issue. It's close to Mount Pleasant, it's kind of a semi-urban setting anyway, just to the north of it. So that's the reasoning behind it.
But the reasoning for R2 rather than R1?
R1 is a 35-foot setback, R2 is a 10-foot setback.
Okay.
That's
So their house can be within 10 feet of
I
the road.
mean, their house is
of the
already,
right of way.
it's already existing?
No, it is not existing, but you can see they had started to clear.
Have they made a subdivision?
Yes,
Has a subdivision been approved?
yes.
When?
April,
By whom?
supervisors.
Oh, the planning and zoning doesn't get involved in that.
No, they don't.
Then what are we supposed to be planning if we're not planning subdivisions?
They have never wanted to send those to planning and zoning commission, and they're not required to by code, so.
Interesting.
So how many lots are you trying to get out there?
Excuse me?
How many lots?
There's three lots.
Just 3 lots?
Right.
At this time?
Yeah.
I mean, they always could
How
subdivide.
many, can I speak?
Yes,
Yes.
How many
You have to-
houses
you
are
have to
proposed
stand
in
and
this
state your name.
subdivision?
Just state, you don't have to stand, but just state your name. mean, so,
Oh, I'm Gary Beatty, and I own the property just south of there,
yes,
where the pond is.
yeah.
Pond on
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
it. And we just got home, we've been out of state, and we got the letter, and we're like,
Today we got the
opened our
letter.
mail. And we're like, well, maybe we should go to find out what's going on. So we thought it was that day property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are three houses planned, each sister's building a house.
Yeah.
So is this map
But this-
is crystal
but
flat
this-
in relation to?
She's a daughter.
Okay, okay.
But this whole property they bought from Plesner is gonna be a subdivision someday,
It's a 3-lot subdivision right now.
okay?
Okay.
But how many more can we
Well,
put?
actually, it's a 2-lot and a remainder, but it's basically it's 3
Okay.
lots.
So, but they could change that.
They
Yeah.
could come in, but they'd have to go through the approval again, they'd have to go in
Okay.
front of the supervisor.
And we're talking about this whole thing is what they're,
Yes,
Yeah,
like this big section, they could divide it up into
yeah, they
slices
can
of
big
cheese.
do anytime they want to.
So the way I understand it is the private road they built, if
It
they
is.
keep it agriculture, they have to set back 35 feet or whatever, 50 feet
50 feet.
from their private road that they made. Is that right? Am I
Yes.
understanding that right? And so their reasoning for changing it to R1 or R2 is so they can be 10 feet from the road they made.
Correct.
Is that right? Okay.
And it won't affect us south of there at all, only I'm just concerned about down the road, the runoff.
So if that's a private road, why do you say that that doesn't include the right of way if it's? I mean,
The setback
does
is,
the private road doesn't necessarily always have a setback or a width requirement.
but it does have a width requirement in the subdivision ordinance.
Okay,
It's required to be 66 feet, which is what that is.
okay.
County's not gonna maintain it.
No, county will not maintain
Right,
it.
I was just, so that's 30, so that's probably 20 feet or so, plus the 10-foot.
Well, it's 33 feet from the center of the road
Yeah.
And then another 10.
and then another 10.
Okay.
It's a 24-foot surface, so you've got a 12-foot surface,
Yeah.
and another
21.
21 feet plus another 10 feet. So
30
they'd
feet,
be
so it'd be 30 feet.
30
so
feet
that's-
from the edge of,
okay.
from the edge of the gravel, roughly.
And they could always decide hopefully that they would want to build it further back.
But then they can always build it further
Oh,
back.
yeah,
But
yeah.
this would, it would make it legal for them.
Yeah.
This is opposed to them all coming in and asking for variances, which really would be appropriate here,
Mm-hmm.
so.
So if they decide they're gonna do a subdivision, we won't get notice of that,
Well,
will
they'll be
we?
noticed in the newspaper.
In the newspaper? Okay.
And obviously it'll go to the Board of Adjustment.
Well, the subdivision would go to the Board of Supervisors.
Well, yeah, but then it wouldn't go to either the Board of Adjustment or Planning and Zoning.
It just goes to the Board of
Does it?
Supervisors.
Okay, a subdivision doesn't come to the plan, once again, doesn't come to the Planning and Zoning.
Adjustments when there's a conflict.
Yeah.
So if this is already a subdivision and then they chose to subdivide like one of the pieces, then it would be a new subdivision or it would be like an amendment or how would that?
It'd be a new subdivision.
A new, okay,
Right. Subdivision of a subdivision is a new subdivision.
okay. And so then there's no notice required of neighboring property
It's
owners?
not required in the code, no, it's just noticed in the paper.
There aren't any, I'll use the word law for want of a better word. You have to have so many acres to build a house on.
Yes. This R2 reduces that to,
Okay.
What is the lot size?
well, the lot size is a minimum acre in A1, and it's,
I think it says it on here, doesn't it?
no, does it say it on there? Give me, I can tell you here real quick, I should have printed it out, but I didn't.
There's some places you can't build a house unless you have like 40 acres or.
Right.
a
Some,
farm.
yeah, some counties require,
Yeah,
in the rural area, they require 40 acre,
yeah,
Henry County is not one of them.
all right.
In this location, it would be very difficult to go less than an acre, just because it's septic, and you need 2 acres for a septic. But
Yeah.
you can get by with 1.
Unless you wanna put it under the house.
Right, and the problem is if you have one and one fails, you may not have enough room for a second one, so, yeah. They could reduce the lot to R2, but practically, because it would take city sewer to go down there to really practically reduce those lots to less than an acre. And currently the lots are, yes, you don't have it on there, but
You didn't show it.
the minimum one is, I think the small one to the west is 1.3. Yeah, that's the smallest one, the other two are
In an
significant.
R2, what could,
Are the lots designated in the aerial photograph that I can look up them on my own computer?
Yeah, you can
Okay,
go on
I'll
Beacon.
check it out on.
On Beacon?
Yeah, it's on this map here. I might have this backwards, but you've got lot 1 and 2, or it might be 2 and 1, I forget. And then the rest of this is the remainder. They subdivided to make these 2 lots, and this is the leftover here.
Okay,
These 3 are all Butcher Day and Platt are all sisters.
all right.
here I have an extra one.
Hence why it's called Sisters Lane.
I don't know whether that goes to my brother.
Not for me to determine.
Thank you very much.
Actually, I've got no other barbecue. I brought some just in case.
Oh, I said I have an extra, now I still have an extra.
Yeah.
So what is the minimum
I'm
lot
fine,
size?
just 1 second.
Still waiting.
Oh, I see, that's on there.
All right, then we're good.
I've had much reception, yeah.
I'm also wanting to know on your staff report, for this, you said the existing land use was 501 North Lee Street.
Where did that
I have no idea, it is, it's all, is it all A1, existing land use?
Yeah, everything's A1 around it.
Okay,
That's what the existing is.
but you had.
Existing zoning and existing is ag. I don't even know what, that's such an odd ad, I don't even know what I can.
501 North Lee Street.
That is computer well, I think with the input, but I don't look at it.
Yes, okay.
Let's see what's up, here we go. A residential lot is 7,200 square feet, but like I said, practically you can't get one that small because
72 by 100.
7,200, well, yeah, 72 by 100, yeah, would be 7,200. But to make it smaller lots, like I said, they would come in again, and without sewer, the supervisors wouldn't approve smaller lots because it wouldn't be practical.
Any other comments or
I'm good.
questions? Any discussion? Accept a motion?
But we need a motion to go out of public hearing if we're,
Okay, if we're going to vote, okay, is the motion to go out of public hearing?
I'll make a motion for that, so we can.
I'll second.
All right, we can take it off then.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
thank you for coming.
Okay. We're now closed, the public hearing is now closed. So, is there,
I'll make a motion to approve the rezoning.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Alright, there were no comments other than that, I guess, so. Okay, we need to have a motion to go into public hearing again.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to go back in public hearing.
I'll second.
Opposed? Motion carries. Unanimous.
May or may not have looked at this Senate file. Basically, they've made it so that we're required to allow at least 2 dwellings, either a single dwelling, a single structure with 2 dwellings in it, or a dwelling and an accessory dwelling. Either way, we'd have to allow at least that many. So we're changing the language.
Why did that all come about?
I have no idea. Some people probably wanted to build a house somewhere, and they've got a friend that's a
In the state,
legislator.
yeah.
I believe the intent behind it was to make more housing available, especially in rural areas, from what I read up on it. So they felt like this was one way to do it, I believe.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We previously allowed what we called secondary suites, which had more restrictions than what this.
Well, it's like a farm putting a trailer out there for their.
Well, and unfortunately, this will allow manufactured mobile homes to be used as a second dwelling.
On any
Okay.
property, or is there
On any property, as long as it meets.
so
as
even
long
this
as it-
one we just rezoned, they could put 2 properties on this acre
As
and
long as they,
3 tenants?
as long as they can meet the setbacks in the zone, they could have 2, they could have a dwelling with 2 units.
When you say a mobile home, that means they would not have to have a foundation.
Just whatever the,
Manufactured home, yes, you'd have to have a permanent foundation, but a mobile home, you would not.
no. I've talked to the supervisors about addressing the mobile home issue, maybe in the future. I don't know how, a mobile home was built before 1976. There aren't a lot of them left at this point. Most of them have disintegrated into the ground. But there are a few out there, and the mobile homes, we could legally relegate them to a mobile home park. You don't have to allow those, out on real estate.
Make mobile homes anymore?
No. Since in 1976, they affixed that tag on it, and that became a manufactured home. That's the differential, is this federal tag that's on everything since
I've forgotten
76.
that, yeah.
And we're still allowed to differentiate between a manufactured and a mobile home. But this currently would not do that, and the supervisors may decide in the future but that'll come back to you guys if they decide they wanna.
So any house not on wheels, it covers. This would cover.
Well, this would not prevent your neighbor from pulling a mobile home in the backyard and.
Have an uncle, whoever come and live for.
Correct.
But this is already past the state.
Yeah, it's already passed it.
So we really
don't
don't
have,
have any
all
say.
we're doing is
It's
aligning
correct.
the ordinance to
match
match
it.
to match
To match it.
the state.
So if we didn't,
So
and somebody wanted to fight us, we would lose.
We would lose.
Okay.
It's already law,
Right.
because now you can move on.
It's, I think it's better to be proactive.
No, I
and
understand.
address it. And it says we have to allow at least one, which is what we're doing here. Without it, I would hate to find out that without it, we have to allow 2 or 3 or 6. So, which could be up, 50% of problem, so.
So this, it's already state law.
And we need to find out the state law, I suppose.
So,
But the county cannot add more restrictions with the state law requires?
No. They've given us maximum restrictions, it is reverse of what a lot of things are.
Okay.
It doesn't allow us to require a certain roof line or to match the house, or it specifically says we can't do those things. So there's little we can add on to, it, other than limit it to just 2.
Question is, does it have anything to do with their sewage lines too? So we can-
Yeah, they would still have to meet,
A separate sewage line, like a separate,
no,
not necessarily.
But you probably have.
It would have to be,
Does it go on bedrooms or bathrooms on the sewer?
sewer goes on bedrooms.
So So if you added 2 more bedrooms, your sewer would have to be big enough,
Unless it was already big enough, you'd be okay, but if it wasn't,
and you'd have
you'd
to,
have to do a modification or another system, if that would be determined by the sanitary, then they would require to add that, you know, whatever bedrooms they're adding on.
It does state that you can't require new or separate utility lines. However, I think you can regulate, like you said, the number of bedrooms, yeah, the size,
If it's not adequate.
right,
And we can't make them bring in another electric line, they can come off the houses
Right.
there. We
Yeah.
have no intention of getting involved in that anyway.
right. So I have a question, from our email previously today, Joe. Was the document that you provided to the commission last week, was that the correct document?
It was the incorrect one, but
Oh.
I sent them out the correct one. For whatever reason, I named the old one in the middle of the same name, I don't know why, but
Okay,
that was my mistake. I usually give them 2 separate names, but for whatever reason, they got the same name. At least the newspaper and the bulletin board got the correct one, so.
okay, and then my other question concerning that is, I had asked you if you were going to give the commission like a red line document, because like these things that show what's being repealed, this isn't necessarily an issue on this ordinance, but my concern is going forward with other ordinances, if there's like a red line document to give them the wording, because I looked up, and even after you sent the revised one today, you have to flip through all these different ordinance sections to find what's being changed. Your statement to me was that they didn't request it, so I just want to make sure that you guys know that you can request the actual wording. This is just telling you section numbers and such, but in the future on things that you're to be voting on.
The other real quick tonight. It's not really a red line, but it does reference the changes.
Because I feel like what you provided them is just stating what's changing, not necessarily giving them the actual sections. So I mean, as I was looking through it last night, I was flipping through the sections of ordinance I had printed out so I could make notes on that. But I feel like if you're asking them to make a vote on wording changes, that they probably need to be provided that. But Joe stated that you guys hadn't requested that. So I just wanted you to know that you could request that in the future.
Thank you.
So if they wanted more than one accessory dwelling, then would that be, they would have to come in and ask for that? Like if they wanted to have hopefully not, but a mobile home and also have attic or something they made into, or a place off their garage or something, a shed or something into a.
If they were converting something in the interior, they would not require anything.
Okay, so it would be like a detached garage or something.
But if they're gonna put up a new structure, they would need a permit. If they're gonna convert an existing structure, it would not require a permit.
Okay,
As long as they didn't exceed,
Didn't make it larger.
if they made it larger, that would require a permit.
okay, but if they, let's say they were doing that plus adding a mobile home, this is saying they can only have
They
two?
can only have 2.
Okay, so then there wouldn't,
But an accessory structure, you can have more than one accessory structure.
This is accessory dwelling.
Dwelling.
Which is
Well,
different.
she asked a structure though.
Okay,
right, but I'm saying if you had, let's say, your aunt wanted to move into the mobile home as Mr. Larber suggested, and
You
then,
can have one dwelling you can have one structure with 2 dwellings in it, or you could have a dwelling and an accessory dwelling. 2
but that's
total.
it,
That's it,
okay,
2
Okay,
total.
but the accessory building,
yeah,
Well, accessory building is a garage, and that's.
right,
It says here, it says mobile and manufactured home shall not be considered a secondary suite.
But that's the old
Oh,
thing.
that's the old
That's what we're
Okay.
repealing now. Yeah, that's one of the
so
repeals.
as long as they were behind the major, if they were, as long as they were in the rear yard.
They don't have to be in the rear yard.
They could be in the side yard too.
They only have to meet setbacks.
Meet the setbacks, it could
Right.
be, no, I mean an accessory structure, not the second building, not the second,
Well, no, this is the same,
Dwelling.
accessory structures can be in the front also as long as they meet setback. We changed that about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Because we had so many garages going in front of houses, and instead of giving variances, we just changed it because it was such a common thing.
Hmm.
So we're not talking about those big, huge, like, bus size, campers that basically are houses on the road. Would that qualify as a second dwelling?
It does not qualify as a second dwelling,
At all?
because it's not a, it's a.
Some of those are nicer than most houses.
Some of them are, yes.
So the first part of the Senate file does say if a manufactured home, as defined in this section, or a mobile home is used as an accessory dwelling unit, the manufactured home or mobile home shall be converted to real property by being placed on a permanent foundation and assessed for real estate taxes.
Right, that's an assessor function.
Okay,
And that's true now too, so.
okay. So you couldn't just leave it on its wheels and, yeah. So that's kind of helpful.
There's creative people out there.
That is true.
I've seen them put bricks underneath them.
Right, call it permanent.
And how they're installed is actually up to the state fire marshal. Well, actually, no, they just moved it to a new department in that realignment, and I still can't get it stuck in my head what new department it is since they moved it from the state fire marshal.
I think there's a house down in Salem that's like that. He's got a camper and he made a house out of it.
It's possible. But yeah, they just moved
I
it.
put on his deck and put on all their old addition on it.
Yeah.
We've had some campers become residences over, not very many, and it's a touchy subject because sometimes people can't afford anything else, and the county's not really interested in kicking people out on the street, so we kind of, we take each one as to how it's being maintained, and
It was creative.
right now we actually don't have any, so I keep my fingers crossed and stay that way.
Okay, all right. So, any other discussion?
We need to go out of public hearing again, and
I'm sorry,
I'll make a motion to go out of public hearing.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, unanimous, all right, we're out of public hearing. Do I hear a proposal for,
What we just need to do is
to correct or
To adopt this,
well, it's to recommend approval as written, or unless you have changes you wanna make.
I'll recommend it, just what Joe said there.
is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, is there any other business?
Short piece of business, we normally meet on the second Tuesday of the month. The newspaper has moved their deadlines up so far in advance that we really need to move the meeting back to the third Tuesday. Because it's some months it's almost impossible. Some months, my deadline for applications is the last day of the previous month. And sometimes that happens after the deadline for the newspaper. So I want to leave it back. We can put it on the agenda to vote on it for next, but I just wanted to kind of bring it up that it's causing a problem, because if you want to be in the newspaper, the following Thursday, you've got to have it in by 9 a.m. Thursday morning, a full week in advance. And
Okay.
it never used to be like that, but, and they don't care if it causes us heartburn, so.
So,
I said, I'll put it on
okay,
next,
the
to
next
vote on
agenda.
changing it. I just wanted to bring that up, and
But there's nothing in sight where we have to, nothing planned out for another meeting for one.
not at this point now.
Well, other than, what about Thursday, there's a meeting Thursday.
Once they get things where they are ready to move it forward to you guys, I will send
Right,
something
but I
out.
thought,
As far as the solar
The solar.
and battery storage, okay, so they're gonna make their decision
They're,
first?
well, they're not, they're going through there and they're getting a framework.
Okay,
And once they get to, where they think that, they're giving you guys some direction, then they're gonna pass it on to you.
and then we'll need a meeting and work session, or?
However you guys wanna do it.
Okay.
now that's not what I was talking about.
Oh,
There is a public hearing Thursday.
Oh, that's the Board of Adjustment for,
Well, I know, I mean, we got a letter because we live across the street from, they want to rezone.
well, there,
Or there
it's a
is-
conditional use permit, yeah.
Yeah, they want to have a commercial use. So,
We'll have a meeting on that.
No, it's just board of adjustments. So we don't
Oh,
know on that. But you're welcome to come.
I know.
That's 4 o'clock and then be in here on Thursday.
Thursday, right.
Otherwise, I have nothing else.
The Newtons
I'll
are,
make a motion to adjourn.
okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
I'm in favor of
All,
adjourn.
yeah, all in favor? Adjourned. Thank you.
And Joe, I'm not available other than Wednesday through September and October. Wednesday nights and Sundays.
September and October,
You're
Wednesday.
not available then, those are
Nope, I
those
got
are-
volleyball every
Okay,
single night,
Okay,
football
those
on
are the-
Friday and volleyball on Saturdays, and
But you're available Wednesday.
Wednesdays is, church night, we don't have anything for schools.
I've got it noted.
No, the new